Hey guys, welcome back to Get Into It with Jason Hook, with your host, me, Jason Hook. I'm gonna get right into it. So what we're listening to tonight is one of my favorite 80s hardcore, US hardcore bands, Toxic Reasons. This is the Independence LP, which came out in 1982. From Dayton, Ohio. The first time I heard these guys, I fell in love with them. I still love them. They're one of my, like I said, they're one of my favorites. And it comes with this really awesome booklet. That, every song has a page with the lyrics written out, and like a live photo, and the song title right here in like all caps. Myself a paper cut. The first copy of this I bought didn't have one of these in it, and I was pissed. Drunk and Disorderly, War Hero, and I think I mentioned it in that video I did with Pat. Was this along with Crowd? I bought 2 copies of this, and the first one I bought didn't have this insert with it, and the record actually had a skip in it, but I got it for cheap, so I was kind of bummed. But then I got another copy, and the record was clean. The cover wasn't as good as this one. The record was clean, and I had one of these, so I Frankenstein a copy at it, you know, a good copy, and I gave the other copy to my friend, and he was psyched to just get a copy of it. And it didn't skip on his record player, so I don't know if my record player was just being a wiener. I don't know. But on the thank yous, it says, "No thanks to all capitalist Dayton bar owners, as Babylon has since crumbled." But yeah, it's great, like mix of like, it's got punk, but it's got like the, you know, riffs and licks like rock. Like, I don't want to say like rock, but it's just great stuff. And side A burns a hole through your head, then side B comes on, it just burns that hole deeper. But side A is definitely every single song is just rip, and then there's a slow jam at the end. But that's Toxic Reasons, Independence, 1982. Check it out. I know it's on CD too. That CD might have extra tracks on it. So what we're gonna do today is I have a couple of things that came in the mail. I don't have a lot of new stuff. I pulled some stuff, just random pulls from my record shelf, and some zines I want to show you. So, should I start with the tapes? I'll start with the tapes. So the first tape I have here is Inepsy, The Lost Tracks, which came from Canada, a label called Redstate Tapes. Slowly. Black tape that has a sticker on it. It's the same thing on side A and B. What this is it's 7 tracks that were recorded in 2009, and they're already saying that this is the last release you're ever going to see from Inepsy. They've actually been broken up since 2011. Let's see, Inepsy 99 to 2011. See You in Hell. It's got a nice J card. Comes with a download code. I got one of these for Ground Zero Salem, so, and the other tape I got one for him too. But this is just dirty punk, like Motorhead influence. Just, it's really fucking awesome stuff. I was kind of late on the Inepsy train. I think I saw him once. I could have seen him a bunch. I don't know why I didn't go. I was probably just working like a douche or something. But this is Inepsy, The Lost Tapes. There's a red tape that's only 100 of. This is the black one. I'm pretty sure they still have these. I'll put a link below so you guys can check it out if Inepsy's your jam. The next one I have is the Obstruction tape demo, Absolute Destruction. This is the demo and 3 extra songs. I showed the 7-inch a couple videos back. It's a singer from Tear It Up who lives in Texas now. And some other guys that are from I think Severed Head Estate. It says it's got a totalitar kind of sound to it, which I agree with. It's straight hardcore with like kind of like a DBD sound. The cover's fucking awesome. The packaging on this thing's awesome. Some strange tree it says hardcore hard. It's got Obstruction on the side. There's the back. And it opens up like that. And it's just a black tape with a sticker on it. Got one of these too for you, Pat, so I'm just a giver of gifts or things I think are cool. It comes with this insert here. I don't want to be. And it's got the lyrics on the back. Live shot. These were actually made for a Japanese Korean tour, I guess. That's what it said. I got this from a kid on Instagram from Malaysia who runs a tape distro. These are really, this was $5. I think it's $5. It cost me $15 for 2 tapes from Malaysia. The only bummer is that it takes literally like almost 3 weeks to get. But I wait patiently. It's very straightforward. I'm gonna post a link for his distro. You guys gotta check it out. He's got a really awesome shit. I need to order more from him. I might make an order this week, just some random stuff. But and I'll post the link. I'll tag him, and I want him to know that I'm plugging his thing. It's Bebal Mailorder, B-E-B-A-L or Bebal. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. And this is actually, he has tapes from other labels, and then this one, he's actually involved in this one because he's got like his logo right there. It's probably not going to be all blurry. And on the bottom, it's grindcore. Yeah, it's got his email and his blog spot. And then it's got, this was also put out on Pissed Off, which is I think it's a, I think I showed a tape before by them too. I think it's an it might be an Asian or some sort of like, you're not in the U.S. cassette tape label. But this is Absolute Obstruction, the demo and three new tracks. And I got one LP because I'm wearing, yesterday was Edge Day, I'm wearing my Project Excellence sleeve. That Bridge 9 repressed a while when they repressed the 7-inch straight edge sleeve. You know, I gotta watch out. Dudes in varsity jackets are gonna come in here and take me away. It doesn't. My fat gut hangs out of the bottom, so I'll spare you guys that. Next we have, this came in the mail the other day. This is the brandy new Propaganda Victory Lap LP. I've talked about these guys before. I love this band. This record kind of is a little more melodic and like there's some metal like riffage on it. They started out, they were like a pop punk band. They've gotten better with every release. This has some great songs on it. It has some songs that I wasn't super into. I only listened to it once, to be honest with you guys, so I'll give it another jam later on. It's on blue vinyl. The back here, it's got a little shot. New guitar player. Sullen. So I probably butchered that, I'm sorry. The lyrics on this side. It's the same, lyrically, it's the same kind of stuff that you've always expect from Propaganda. You know, songs here about, it's like a song here about, I think it's a bass player's father who's passed away, but I guess it was a slow. Have you ever seen someone wasting away, first by choice and after it's too late, they want to come back to life, but they're drowning in a sea so endless, you see them come for air, then go under forever? Deep lyrics. Songs about voting, just political as usual, which Propaganda's always been. And this also came with a flexi. It's got one song on it. What's it called? Laughing Stock. It actually sounded pretty good for a flexi. Usually these things sound like absolute shit, stuck in magazines or something as bonuses. I wonder why it didn't make the cut for the record, because it's a pretty good song. This is on Epitaph. It's available everywhere. I pre-ordered it because I thought I could get it early, and I'm going to talk a little shit about King's Road. I don't know if any of you guys have ever used King's Road before. They're like a merch company. They actually have a lot of contracts with big bands to do their merch and stuff, pre-orders. And every single time I order, I never get my shit on time. And this came out like over 2 weeks ago, and I got it yesterday, and I'm like, why didn't I just go wait until it came out and bought a black copy at like Newberry Comics or something? So that kind of pissed me off a little. I'm just venting here. And I'm seeing them on Saturday. So next I have a couple of records I just pulled out of my collection that I thought would be interesting to talk about. The first one we're gonna hear is Teengenerate. Get More Action, the Lost Egg Studio recordings. This is on Crypt Records for you collectors out there. This came out in 2013. It's actually most of the Get Action LP, and then a bunch of extra songs, including a bunch of covers. It comes in a cool gatefold. It tells a story that's written by the singer of the New Bomb Turks about a tour they did. It's got photos. They're from Tokyo. Crazy fuzzed out garage punk. It's on black vinyl, so I'll just show you the labels. Crazy fuzzed out garage punk. Awesome, there's awesome shit. If you guys like dig that kind of thing, definitely influential to like Jay Retard and Oblivion, like bands like that. It's they did a U.S. tour, I believe, in 1994. That played Boston, and I was too young to go. A few years later, when I was old enough to know who Teengenerate were, I was like, I miss them. But it was a New Bomb Turks. It's kind of a legendary show. I've seen a lot of pictures. I believe it was at the Rat. I've seen a lot of photos from it. But this is a band I got into again probably like 3 or 4 years ago, which is almost 20 years after they ended their existence. But that's Teengenerate. Get More Action from Japan. Again, just fuzzed out garage insanity. Anybody who's into the Japanese stuff, they always seem to do stuff at a crazy level, like super dedicated. But it's a great record. Check it out. Or check anything out. That's the only thing I own from them on vinyl. I think I'm gonna have to change that. I'm gonna start digging for Teengenerate stuff, but I'm sure I'll probably have to get a second job to do it. My wife will be mad at me. Next we have the Hounds of Hate self-titled LP. This glare is killing me, man. This came out on Painkiller in 2013. Black vinyl. Wasn't even sure if I had a color vinyl on this one. This Hounds of Hate got the dog. Hounds of Hate. 3 X's, bro. Honor Veg Day yesterday. These guys are from New York. I don't know if they're a band anymore. I haven't heard anything recently, but I could just be a moron. 3 X's. Yeah, it's 3 X's. I thought it was 4. Get it back. These dudes are a hardcore band. It's kind of it's a weird mix of stuff. It's like it's definitely DIY hardcore, but it definitely has kind of like a late 80s New York. They're from New York. Late 80s New York hardcore sound to it, like a side by side, AF type sound with gang vocals and breakdowns and stuff. But it's not like bro-y gang vocals and breakdowns. It's weird. This band was really blew up. Was really popular for a while, and there was a whole bunch of bands coming out of New York around the time this came out that were just every record was coming out was awesome. And I don't think a lot of them are still together. I'm just out of the loop. But this is the self-titled Hounds of Hate LP on Painkiller. I know they put out another LP and a couple 7-inches. Next, I pulled out a classic jam, and in my first video, I talked about this band. This is a copy of Raw Power's "Scream from the Gutter." For those of you that didn't see the video, these guys are from Italy, an Italian hardcore band. This came out in 1985 on Toxic Shock. The story is they toured the U.S. in '84, total DIY. They weren't on the radio and shit, no. And the dude who runs Toxic Shock saw them and was signed them and put this out. The story is supposedly this has sold 40,000 copies without any sort of major publicity, just total zines, word of mouth, tape traders, whatever. It's an awesome record. The live shots in the back are great. The guitar player here, Giuseppe, actually passed away in the early 2000s. These guys toured the U.S. a bunch, especially in the late 90s into the early 2000s. I never saw them, and I don't know why, man. It's one of those things I can't answer. I don't know why I never saw them. I'm sure they played Boston or this general area, and maybe I just missed them. But special thanks to everyone who made this possible: Chris and Dave, Paul Mahern, Tim Yohannan, Maximum Rock and Roll, and Toxic Shock. Many thanks also to our fans. And it's got the address to write to. Oh, Bad Compilation. Also available from Bad Compilation Tapes. 2 raw power cassettes, $3 each. San Diego. Maybe I'll send them a $6 money order. You get some shirts here, $7. Vinyl stickers, 2 for $1. I might have to send out some well-concealed cash to these addresses. We'll see what happens. But they still exist in a form today. I don't know if they've come to the U.S. I'm pretty sure they haven't. Black vinyl. You gotta remember, this 1980, these dudes are probably in their 50s, so I don't think they're gonna be doing full band U.S. tours in 2017. But it's awesome hardcore. Probably the premier Italian hardcore band, in my opinion. I know someone's probably gonna call me a fucking idiot or something, but it's very interesting. There's like guitar leads and stuff. They got more experimental with guitars and that sound as time went on. But just a great band. You should definitely check them out. It's raw power, scream from the gutter. I think there's ones with different covers and stuff. They always have like this weird art. Some people hate it. I think it's cool. I want to get a shirt of this. Anyways, I don't know. I'm blabbering now. The record's about to end, so A-side's about to end, so we'll get this last one in. So this next, I have a little story about this next record. A few years ago, I was posting a lot on a message board, a record collecting message board. That kind of stunk. There was a lot of kids into just shitty, my opinion, shitty stuff. And a few people that were into like the same hardcore or punk or just weird. And they did like a Secret Santa you had to sign up for. And I signed up for it and I was like, oh God, I was praying that I wasn't going to get someone who's going to send me, you know, like All American Reject records or Good Charlotte records or like, you know, Hot Topic pressings. That's all they ever talked about on this site. It's fucking annoying. And I got the one kid who like dug punk and hardcore. His name is Mike. I'm going to tag him on Facebook on this. I haven't talked to him in a while. He sent me this huge package. It had like, it was like 10 or 11 LPs. It's like 10 7-inches. And it was all like really, there was stuff I didn't have. It was all like cool shit. I'll pull those out in different videos. Every time I pull something out, I'll plug them on it. I'll thank them on it. But this is a band called Night Siege. The name of the record is Power of Death. This is, I don't know if the Glare's probably going to murder this. I haven't been able to find out a lot about this band. They're from Austin, Texas, and I think this is from 2011. They still got a price tag on for $5.99. So, but the whole cover's screen printed. It's black on black, and there's like a silvery thing done, and the song titles are on the back. And they actually screen printed the sleeve. And the vinyl has no center labels on it. But it's got a cool... They use like... It looks like they used a brand like 2 cross axes on it. That's not going to come out. But right there, there's 2 cross hatches. And it comes with... I don't know where it just went. I'll show it in a minute. It fell out. It came with the whole record on CD as well, which I just noticed was in there. I've had this for... This probably a couple years ago I did this grab. This record's pretty good, dude. It's if you guys dig like Cursed and stuff of that nature, you guys will love this. The only video I was able to really find on the internet or anything of them was a little bit of a live set, and I think it's from 2009. It's not the greatest. I'll put it in there. Maybe this, I don't know why, but this band seems to have slipped completely under the radar. So I don't know if the members were in other bands or have gone on to be in other bands. And this thing will not go back in, so you're going to go back in later when I'm done doing the video. I'm going to flip the record in a minute. I just want to talk a little bit more about this. So it comes with this is the CD. Just a white CD. But it's got like that definitely Cursed. If you guys know a band from Canada, you guys should all know them. Like metal hardcore sound. It's hard to really, but they're like dudes are like studded punk kid, like studded vest punk kids. It's great shit. I dug it a lot, and I just saw it. I hadn't listened to it in like a year, and I put it on right before I made this video, and I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. I totally remember this. But again, that's Night Siege. What's the name of the record? I don't want to mislead you. The Power of Death, or Power of Death. I mean, it was $6 somewhere. But yeah, this really looks cool. I know the camera's not going to do any justice to it. So, that's Night Siege. I'll be right back. shaky camera. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So I'm gonna go into a zine that's local to Massachusetts. It's 3 issues. I have all 3 issues. I'll show the first 2 issues. The third one I'm gonna open up and get into with you guys. So, name of the zine's Negative Insight. The first issue here, Faruq's Sacrilege and Disaster. This is supposed to come in a 7-inch. For some strange reason, mine has 2 CDRs of live sets. I don't know what that is. Maybe if one of you guys from this sees this, I don't know what the difference is. I bought this at Newbury Comics for $7 in 2012. So, that's the first one. The second one, number 2, comes with a Chaos UK 7-inch. It's Chaos UK, Disorder, Riot City Records, and more. Then there's the Chaos UK. Studio Outtakes 81, 83. Just 2 songs, Maggie, and Police Protection. And it says, you know, Negative Insight exclusively distributed. And this is cool. It's got like the Punch-Out 45 center. Probably listen to this thing once, I'm not going to be honest with you. And the thing I like most about what he does with these is that every issue kind of focuses on like 2 or 3 bands, but has a ton of information about those 2 or 3 bands, or the scene that it's talking about, which would lead us to issue number 3. There's a little true thing right here. Quoting changes nothing. So this one just came out recently. I want to say I probably got it a couple weeks ago. I've been meaning to talk about it on here, but I actually just dug into it today. So the first thing that was cool about this is a little note to me right here. I don't know the dude super personally, but I've hung out with him. We know a bunch of the same people. We've been to a bunch of the same shows. Shot the shit a couple times. His name's Eric. But this comes with this huge. It's like a classified ad. But it comes with this huge, like, just flyers for all different labels. And a lot of these labels I've talked about on here before. Like, here's a Radio Raheem one. Stuff that's coming out. You know, there's one for Negative Insight. You know, for Endless Computer. Jack yourself in for 10 tracks of ultra-modern neuropunk madness from Austin's Expander. A mind-bending testament to the futility of humanity powered by advanced technology. So the band's expanded, but the name of the Expander, the name of the record's Endless Computer. I've never heard of it. Check that out. Sounds weird. Then, you know, there's just tons of them in here. Ignore Rock and Roll Heroes. This appears to be a foreign distro. This thing about Compla from Our Future Records. It's a zine. It's a hardcore zine. It's a new hardcore zine with each issue turning the spotlight on a different area of the history of our hardcore scene through original interviews and in-depth research. It's kind of similar to what Negative Insight is. Issue 2, 30 Years of Discharge's Grave New World LP. An extensive look at the legendary LP, which continues to divide opinion to this day, including original interview material and analysis. Wow. I'm going to check this out. This kind of sounds like right up my alley. It looks like they have a comp, too. Discharge-inspired international hardcore. Oh, I'm going to check it out. That's cool. Sorry, you guys see me discover shit right in front of you. Black Conflict Records. Noise Punk Records. There's a ton of these in here, so this might get boring for some people. Warsaw Pack Records. Terrotten Records. Doomed to Extinction. Looney Tune Records. Immediate Destruction, label and distro. Rodel Records, Berlin, Germany. Look at all this. Oh, The Brood, which is a band. These are cool. Like, these are the things you guys should support. There's another one. Renderhurst Records. Viral Age Records. There's a thing in here in Spanish. It looks like it's a distro list, or I'm not sure what it is, but it's in Spanish. The obligatory 80s hardcore band ska song. So the Malleus postcard out now. Still waiting for the LP to be listed. Another Negative Insight ad. A Racalian Oracle. The second prophecy of apocalyptic death metal is dedicated to the mysteries of the Infernal Sun, a sixfold secret sung by the Abysmal Angel. I'm sure you guys might dig some Loud Punk, which you guys heard me talk about at Upstate New York. You guys should order from them. Crust War Records. Pilgrim 77 out of Japan. Try to fly through these. I know this is probably boring. General Speech, punk fanzine, but there's records. Oh, General Speech label and fanzine now available. This stuff on the back. There's more. Mortal War, Gates of Hell debut cassette out now. RFL Records. And an ad for 9 tracks of noisy Finnish hardcore propaganda record style recorded February 1983 with Wald from Trevikadet on guitar. It includes a cover version of TK's Vapa Poljolia. I'm sorry, I hammered that. Another, it's like a German, just a plug for an old German repress. I'm going to check that out. But came with all this stuff stuck in there with the note. I don't know where that went. I'll put that all back together later. So this one came with a 7-inch as well. It's the Shitlickers, or also called the Skitlickers, which was a Swedish hardcore band from the early 80s. This was actually pressed with the original plates. I remember reading about it when the build-up for this. These only come out every couple years, too. I think, people are busy. But the lyrics. This is right here. Recorded at Studio Lane Gothenburg. I'm going to hammer that, I'm sorry. April 1982. This EP comes with Negative Insight number 3 magazine, which is cool. There's a logo right here, which you guys can see. The Teamsters logo. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I actually haven't listened to this yet. I listened to it on YouTube. I'll probably put it on after this. But it's just got Insight number 3, because everyone has a 7-inch. But like I said, for some reason my first one doesn't have a 7-inch. What gives, man? That's Shitlickers. So this issue focuses heavily on Swedish hardcore in the early 80s. So you got Shitlickers, Anti-Semics, Disarm, Absurd, Todor, which is a photographer, and the Chainsaw Tour in '86, which is an Anti-Semics tour. I'm gonna run out of time here. This is really heavy quality, nicely put together. In an era of opulence, ignore the looming threat while blissfully living in a Cold War decadence. Which is like some art there. But there, right there. Right there. So if you guys know me, you know I fully back that. This issue was proudly printed at a Union print shop. But this is really well put together, well worth it. I'm going to put the link to the site for this, to where you can grab these. I think they might be sold out at, Negative Insight might be sold out from Negative Insight, but you guys got to look around. You can probably find it in a distro or something like that. But let me flip through this real quick before I run out of time. Disarm. It's an interview. Let's see if I got to move to the side here. Interview. It's got ads in here for cool stuff. A Hawkwind record. Took photos of the Swedish hardcore scene and collection as well. I'm not going to give everything away here. Comes with a Shitlickers poster. It's got a really in-depth Shitlickers interview. Anti-Semics interview. Loud Punk After the Last Rites LP that is coming out. The Chainsaw Tour, which is Anti-Semics, but they list the band in Agony, but they list the band, they put Discharge, Napalm Death, like bands they play with. Concrete Socks, Heresy, Napalm Death, Faroukers, that's a fucking show. There's photos, classifieds, little ad, label and little ad for the label and the mail order. Compliments to the chef there. You do the war now, man. But that's a Negative Insight zine. I definitely suggest if you guys, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know a lot about the scene that's talked about in here. I have a very rudimentary understanding of the bands and what. So this is like awesome for me. This is like nerd fuel for me. So you guys should definitely try to find these. I know, like I said, I don't know if you can get this directly from Negative Insight, but I know I've seen a lot of distros recently posting that they have this for sale. So you guys just keep your eyes peeled for it. So I'm going to plug one more thing. So my friend over at Deathwound Zine has a Halloween issue coming out. It's up for pre-order. I think it went up 2 days ago. It's $4 shipped. $4, guys. You probably have that in quarters. So I'll post a link for Deathwound Zine under here, so you guys can go check that out. There's a bunch of shows coming up. Propaganda on Saturday, Proletariat November, Judge in December, Hate Breed, day after Thanksgiving. Record fairs and stuff's coming, so I should have a lot of shit coming your way. Stuff I buy at shows and distros. Thanks for watching. I super appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing and commenting. Please comment. I like to talk. I usually try to respond to everyone, but that's all I got for tonight. This wonderful Wednesday evening. I'm gonna go microwave some egg rolls and then go to bed. I gotta wake up wicked early. Thanks, guys.